Hey guys, Nigel here from Aquarium Central, and here we are. We have arrived in Shanghai, China. You can probably tell by the Shanghai Tower, which is in the background behind me. But we're about to make our way over here to the aquarium, which is this pointy building over the other side of the river. We're going to try and find our way over there, find our way around the aquarium. We're going to show you a sneak peek inside. Let's go have a look. All right, so we've made it here to Shanghai Ocean Aquarium. Now we got here by leaving the bund and going through the sightseeing tunnel under the river. And then when we came out, we walked past the tower, the famous Shanghai Tower you've just seen, until we found the famous aquarium building in behind me here. We're going to go in through the doors now. We've already got our tickets, and see what kind of critters we can see inside. As I come into the main room here, I'm greeted by this big tank here of endangered species in China. And this guy in here looks like a giant shark. It's actually what they call the Chinese suckerfish. A little bit different to what we know as the Chinese suckerfish. These guys definitely are a sucker though. They've been grazing on the rocks here behind me. They look very much like a shark species. And behind me, this piece of glass here, we have a tank of all sorts of things, but what really grabbed my attention inside here is these freshwater crocodiles, or alligators in some cases, sitting around the banks here. The ducks are up the back there, keeping their distance for obvious reasons. Don't see crocodiles very often in aquariums. Something else in this aquarium behind me here is something you don't see every day in different aquariums we've been around the world. This one has the giant salamander walking around down the bottom here. So you axolotl lovers are in for a special treat. Check these guys out. It wouldn't be a Chinese aquarium if they didn't include the koi and carp. So in behind me here, we've got the very traditional koi and carp display. Just a small one, but also some really cool ducks sitting up the top here. As you walk through the aquarium, you'll come into this tropical forest. It's all artificial and man-made trees and rockery around the wall. But hidden in amongst all the rock work around the wall in this room is all different types of tropical fish, the types of aquarium fish that you'd find at home in your aquarium, and some of the unique ones that we won't find in Australia. Let's have a bit of a look around and see what kind of weird and interesting tropical fish we can find. At the back of the forest area here, we have this beautiful panoramic aquarium that wraps all the way around, that is full of absolutely amazing types of plants. All different types of plants we can get here in Australia, different types of sessifolia, which is your umbulia, different types of sword plants, and a whole heap of different tetras, bits of driftwood. It gives you a type of appearance that you can do at home quite easily. We have all these types of fish, including angelfish, lemon blue eye, bristlenose, and a really good use of sessifolia. Really easy to grow plant. Right, what we've got here is just a very simple aquarium using artificial backgrounds and just some rocks and wood. But inside this aquarium is our striped silver dollars. Over here they call them the tiger silver dollar, but here in Australia we call them striped silver dollars. And in this aquarium, again, we just have a simple piece of rock with a different type of artificial background, full of all different types of plecos in here. So most of these plecos are available in Australia. Here they call them the sucker mouth catfish, but we call them the Plecostomus. In this tank here we have a very unique critter. This one here is called the vampire tetra. Now the vampire tetra, it's about 15 centimeters long and it has razor sharp teeth. But what makes it unique is it's got two extremely long teeth on its bottom jaw that protrude all the way up and out two holes in its top jaw. The teeth will protrude out the top of the fish, making them and giving them the name the vampire tetra. In this aquarium we have a fish that everybody wants in Australia. It is from the silver dollar family, or the red hooks. These are what we call the blackberry red hooks. We have had them before at Aquarium Central once. They are very, very rare, very, very hard to find in Australia. But you can see why. They're absolutely stunning. They're just like your red hooks or your silver dollars in Australia, with that luscious black blush throughout the body. Here we've got just a very simple discus setup. Just a piece of wood in the middle, a little bit of embolia and a couple of swords each side, artificial background, and a whole lot of different discus. Very simple and effective. And here we have a very unique fish from the Amazon. This is the leaf fish, and it is there right in the middle of the screen, staying uniquely still, and it just looks like a leaf floating in the water. But that is a fish. It is alive, has been swimming around, but it gives that appearance of a piece of leaf litter floating in the aquarium. Here we have just a very basic setup, but a very stunning nonetheless, of the Pictus catfish. Now the cool thing about the Pictus catfish, as you can see, its whiskers grow longer than its body. And here they are out being active and playful, and they are a very common fish in Australia and very, very popular. Don't put them with cichlids that are going to chew those whiskers off the front of them. That is part of their appearance, and you want to keep them active and healthy. And here we have a beautiful display of the ever so popular black ghost knifefish. Now the black ghost knifefish, it has the ability to swim forwards and backwards. Unlike most other fish can only move forwards, the black ghost knife can go both directions. Now, a unique thing about these guys is they can't actually see, and they just feel this way around by a little sensor, just a little bit like a bat, putting a sonic pulse out in the water where they can find their prey and know what's around the aquarium. You can keep them hidden inside your aquarium in just a piece of glass tubing. Put it in your aquarium. Your ghost knifefish will think it's in a cave and sit inside that piece of glass thinking it's nice and dark and undercover. And here we have the Raphael catfish, otherwise known as the talking catfish. It gets its name from its vibration, humming sounds it makes when you pull it out of the aquarium. You'll actually hear it grunting. Now be careful when lifting these guys. They have razor sharp scales running down each side of the body. What I found here is this fantastic way that they're displaying the freshwater stingray here. And what they've got here is a completely glass surrounded aquarium. On top as well is a piece of glass. I've put my phone on top there. You can see it is glass, but it looks like there's no glass at all. And it's displaying the rays here in absolutely a magnificent way. I'd love to take this concept and this idea and set something like this up in the shop. It's a really good way to display the rays. And it's just a piece of tile on the bottom, and it just looks so clean and clear, and I can get a really good look at the rays. As I keep walking through, you come into this beautiful archway of freshwater monsters. Now, all around me here I have red flagtails, chili red arapaima, silver arowana, I can see black pacu, all different amazing large predator fish. Here we've got the freshwater electric eel. Now this guy is an impressive about 1.5 meters in length. They do get up to 2 meters in length at full adult maturity, and this is a very healthy, active specimen. Now why they call him the electric eel is because this guy can put a charge into the water up to 800 volts in strength. Now that's enough to stun a cattle or its predator, which is the alligator. It's also used in its hunting abilities, but 800 volts, that's something I'm not going to put myself at risk with, because it'd certainly pack a punch. What we've got in this aquarium here is a lungfish, but it's not the Australian lungfish. This is one from America. Now this particular species of lungfish has the ability to survive when the rivers dry up. It can bury itself in the mud until the next wet season. They are becoming available in Australian aquariums. They do come licensed with a microchip inside, but that is the Australian lungfish. This is a very similar species, which is the American lungfish. As I continue to make my way along, I come across all these Aboriginal artifacts on the side and sounds of didgeridoo. And to my left here, we have this really huge billabong. Inside the billabong, I can already see a whole heap of scats. So these are the silver scats in there. The Mono Argentus is also in there, which is what we call the Australian butterbrim. And I can see out of the corner of my eye what looks like a giant crocodile here in the corner, which is not real, but it does give that impression of being a real crocodile. It is also full of turtles inside here. It's the pig-nosed turtles from the Northern Territory. And as I continue my way around, I can go underneath the billabong by going down this tunnel by the escalator. So we're going to head down there and see what we can find. So as I make my way down the escalator now, I'm going deeper down into the water. I get a real good look at those scats around the walls, and I can see those pig-nosed turtles resting here up on top. and heaps of Balgensis swimming around. And now as I walk into this atrium underneath, I can see all different types of aquariums set up in here. I can see some rainbows over the side there. I can even see a giant live freshwater sawfish in the corner, Australian archerfish, and some over here, the Saratoga. Let's go have a look around at these aquariums. And here behind me we have a really impressive display of the Australian archerfish. Set amongst the mangroves with the mangrove roots coming into the water, the Australian archerfish does love the brackish conditions. Now, what makes the archerfish really unique is the ability to spit out of the water and catch its prey. It will hunt for little insects crawling along the mangrove reefs and spit a jet of water, knocking that insect into the water for a quick feed. So here we have a very large and impressive display of different rainbows. Now, none of these actually are true Australian rainbows. What we've got in here is the red rainbow, the lustrous or the turquoise rainbow, the praecox or the neon blue rainbow, and the very popular Bozeman eye rainbow, all from Papua New Guinea. The next pavilion I come across is obviously going to be Africa, set off by this stunning display of giraffes here behind me. I'm going to keep walking on, hope to find my favourite fish of all, the African cichlids, and I can already see them over here on this wall. And now here beside me we have a tank full of picotti, otherwise known as the striped tilapia. Look at the size of them, they're absolutely monsters at about 45 centimeters. There's also some really big, impressive upside down catfish swimming around in here. Here we have the gem of the Nile, or from the Congo. The Congo tetra gets its name obviously from where region it comes from, with long, flowing, beautiful fins. So before we had the electric eel, here we have one from Africa, which is the electric catfish. Now the electric catfish, not quite as powerful as the electric eel. This guy's still capable though of punching a pop of to 450 volts. And here we have the dinosaur, the tiger bisha, just sitting here resting on its bottom, hiding, being disguised, just waiting for a predator of its type to wait for a little type of fish just to swim past, just like those congos, and make a tasty meal. And here we have a stunning display of actually different types of gouramis. Set against what's meant to be looking like a giant mangrove root. They've even put the upside down aquarium here in the middle where the fish can swim up out of the water so you can get a closer view of them. And it's just all different types of gouramis in here. I can see your opaline gouramis, 3-spot gouramis, golden gouramis. There's all different sharks, loaches here as well, including some torpedo barbs. Look at that fella. See that? Here we have a very large, impressive display with the Asian arowana and some really big tinfoil barbs in both the gold or albino version and your regular tinfoil barbs. There's also those really big Asian sharks in here, which it's available in both the albino version and the regular. I can see some large datinoids even sitting up the back there. We've just been for a whole lot of freshwater display aquariums here at Shanghai Aquarium, and now we've made our way into the Ocean Aquarium where we're going to find a whole lot of sea creatures. I'm expecting to find the ever famous jellyfish displays amongst others. Let's keep looking and see what we can find. So here behind me we have a beautiful coral reef display, and I can see some amazing fox face here, all different types of tangs including the famous blue tang. We even have some cardinals and other types of fish that you'll find around the coral reef. What we've got here is a very attractive display of the garden eel. Two different variants in here. We've got the spotted garden eel and the splendid garden eel. The spotted being ones with the black spots on the side, and the splendid with those orange, yellowy banded striped ones. Now the cool thing about garden eels is that once they're mating, the male and female will pair up closely together, and the male will stand its ground, biting the head off other garden eels that come by. Now they get their name garden eel because they'll dig most of their body into the sand and only bring out part of its body, and it will sway backwards and forwards in the current, looking like plankton or looking like a garden grass. And that's where it gets its name, waiting to eat any krill that goes floating by. In this aquarium behind me here, we have a whole heap of what they call the razor fish. Now, just like the spotted headstanders, these guys spend all their time pointing nose down in the aquarium at the bottom. They've lost the ability to be able to swim parallel or horizontal, so they swim nose down. Now, they've got a very hard exoskeleton. They are called the razor fish because they are that thin, they look like a razor blade. In this aquarium behind me here, we have the seahorse. Now the seahorse is quite a majestic creature. Although it looks like a horse that's underwater, what makes this guy so unique and fascinating is that the male is the one that has the pouch and carries the baby's term until if they have the ability to look after themselves. The female will deposit her eggs inside the male's pouch and they'll hatch there, and then they'll raise them up. What we have here in this red aquarium, and it's dimmed red like this, so it's trying to give us so we can see the fish but mimic the night. And what we've got here is actually called the split fin flashlight fish, and it has the ability to flash lights upon its cheek to bring in or lure its feed. So it also can just turn it off so it can disappear completely into the darkness, or create a flashing light as a lure to bring in food for prey. just been through all the reef displays and the jellyfish, and we're about to head down the escalators to the world's longest underwater tunnel aquarium with 6 different zones. Let's go check it out. I've just come into the world's largest tunnel here now. We're just going to have a look around and see what we can find. Now, I can already see sleeping down here in the corner here is a turtle, and over to my left here is this, looks like a spotted leopard shark. Let's keep walking along and see what we can find. Just come into zone number 2 of the tunnel here, and what I've got is just this amazing effect of schooling dart, just swimming round and round and round the tunnel. It's been a very attractive tunnel. It's grabbed a lot of attention from the people, and you can see why. The next tunnel we come into here is full of rays and sharks. I can see several different types of sharks here, including grey nurse. I can see sand sharks. I can see black tip reef sharks and a whole heap of rays, including there's still some turtles swimming around in this one. So let's keep looking. Here we've come into a reef tunnel, and then beside me here we have a diver just doing some maintenance inside the aquarium. There's a whole heap of different tangs just feasting and feeding around the room. That's the end of the Shanghai Sea Aquarium here, and as you exit out like every other aquarium, you come to the gift shop, and as you walk around the gift shop, there's plenty of souvenirs, something for everyone to choose and take home. We hope you liked and watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give us a like, subscribe, share this video, and we'll see you on the next one.